And hello, and welcome to my YouTube. I'm ALANCOOK, the proud owner of the MIDION painting, and so happens to be the painting that is the duet painting, the greatest painting on the planet as far as I'm concerned, and which was done by Leonardo Da Vinci, because it's a diary. I'm going to show you, you have seen a lot of my YouTubes, well over 450. This is Leonardo, and that's his body in here. And this is Melzi Francisca, who so happens to be his boyfriend. Also, Sali was his boyfriend. So I want to show you how the Mona Lisa in the X-ray that you see here, this is the same. Now, what this is a image off my woman's nose that is probably 20 times smaller than a grain of sand blown up. This area, this right here, blown up this large out of a 100 megapixel camera, phase 1 digital, and it so happens to have all this writing. There's so much to this I want you to know. This actually spells out Melzi Francisca, and this actually spells out Leonardo Da Vinci Sir Pierre. And when you get into the detail, there's something here that you're going to be blown away. Okay, because if you look at the Mona Lisa, you can see how come it has these ridges high and low. Okay, if you actually look, okay, so he copies. Now this image I'm showing you on the green is everywhere. Don't you know, he'll be up here, he'll be over here, he'll be here, but and he'll be a little speck. But here's the main image. When you lay this up in here, you'll see that how the big tree area, when you put it on up, is the same. Okay, and it follows up. You'll also see how his eye lights up in here. You'll also see, you're going to see some other little images, but if you see this crisscross, see this crisscross, okay, Leonardo da Vinci, okay, is a trickster. So what you see here, look at how plain and simple. That's this man looking at this man, and this man looking at here. And if you take a look at this piece of art of his, it actually goes across the face. Now, the reason why it's fogged is many different reasons, because this is an X-ray. But if you take a look how, like, this image over here represents a tree, like this tree, and then it's faded tree, and you can see this faded tree, and it kicks back another faded tree, and that's the way he is. And there's another tree, so there's one in white that he hid. So why? It's because, again, if you follow my YouTubes, you'll find out Leonardo da Vinci will make his artwork move across, such as this, that it is a flip book. So he is actually making a movie. Okay, now if you take a look at this green here, you see this green, it kind of looks like a Snoopy with an arrow. Okay, and you put it right there. You pull this down, here's the arrow, the Snoopy look. Okay, so in certain areas he will give you a number where it's at. I'm going to put this down for a second, and I'm going to show you some other little items that are the same also, but it's going to be a little difficult for me because I only preset it hoping I preset it right, in the sense and order. So here's the same image again. Okay, the same image, and non-X-rayed, but if you can see the outline in here, let me zoom. Okay, if you see the outline in this area, you can see that when I take this piece and I overlay it in this area, you can see how she fits, or he fits perfectly in here, even with the twisted 5 that's in here and the mountain that comes. What's really cool is he marks the cheeks and he marks the hand into the V. See, he has his little markings. What's also neat is if you take a look, you'll see these mushroom looking shells. Okay, here's a mushroom shell. There's a mushroom shell. There's another one. You put this back up in here and you line it, and they fit exactly in the same design in the mountains. If you're going to find that this opening in here is going to match in the waters area on another image that is going to be in the same YouTube. It's going to get to where like a hair right down into everything 100%. So I want to let you know that again, what I'm trying to explain, he will come off the sheet and he will move it and it goes across, and you can see how it lines up in certain areas, like in the cheeks. See, if you follow, you see how this is. You can see the outline. You can see how the outline. Now the face is turned. He's leaning towards this way, but you can see how it would be here, and there's an opening here. So when that's how he tricks. He makes the Mona move. The Mona moves. It was deliberately made to move. Okay, so when you end up with putting the image, you can actually see the image here. You can see the image here that the top of his head, okay, will meet the shadow in here. So when you move it, boom, it meets. Okay, and then what gets really kind of cool is that you pull it across and his whole face covers the Mona. Okay, he makes me stutter. Okay, also, if you put this back into the original area that I first started off at, you can scoot this up and down any way you want, but you'll find that it's just micro off. Okay, you'll find that not only does this works line up in here, is that you can see the outline. Let me pull this back down. You can see this outline running through here. So when I go to put this up in the area we're talking about, you can see this cut line. So I pull it down, you can see the cut line. So what he did is he did it in the invisible painting art. So that's what I'm trying to explain about Leonardo da Vinci. He's kind of like, remember when we were kids? See, look how that fits. Just absolutely slides it right over, 100%. You put it right on down, you can see even the outline in here. It also works over here. But in certain areas, he will highlight it and say, yes, that's the puzzle piece. It gets, if you also look in this area, you'll see a highlighted, kind of like stars. If you pull this down, you can see the same rectangular area that covers this particular area for the skull, which is in many of my YouTubes. So I'm going to pull this down for right now again, and I'm going to slide this one over because I do believe there's another set in here. And this is another image that was done. And when you take that image, and I do believe I have to downsize this. Let's see, or it has to go up. So, this one I probably used twice and I moved it. So excuse me a second. I'm working as best I can for who I am, I guess. I think I haven't done too bad lately. Okay, so we got this. Okay, as you can see in here, it fits 100%. When you see right here, and you pull this on up, you will see that the image, if you see this image right here that runs through here, whoops, sorry, right in the chin area, right here, I'm going to show you where that matches in here. So I grab this, pull it down a little bit to be a little bit larger for you. We're in the area. Too far. One more. There we go. 100% fit. It fits right there 100% in the waters. So when he turns around and puts his images together, he does it in layers and he fogs it. So here's another image. Let me reduce this. And let me see if I got that one preset and marked. If you see Leonardo da Vinci's works fits everywhere in his painting. So let me get that set. Two more notches. You see the corner here, how it fits in there and goes across. It's a great fit. And you can see how the face, and he's got this like pickle fork, and it moves across and lines up exactly in the cheek for the shadow. And here is his L. Okay, so Leonardo da Vinci is a prankster. He hides his work. Now, it's been some time, but this is an L, and this actually stands an F. Leonardo Francisca. Okay, so that the two initials of the Mona Lisa are ML. L, Lisa, is the initial first. L is Leonardo. And M is Melzi. Okay, now if you can Google right now, and when I'm playing here to see if there's anything else that I left in here, you can Google the code they found in the Mona Lisa's eyes. Well, I got that broken. Okay, they found a CE, a B, an L2, an LV, and in between the L and the V in the Mona Lisa's eyes is a small little O and a backwards E at the end of the V. And when you end up with that particular area of particular area, I got kind of sidetracked there, sorry. When you end up with those two little letters, and you got an L and a V with an O and a backwards E, you got LOVE in the Mona Lisa's eyes. And so the CE is actually stands for, the C stands for Katharina. Katharina was his mother's name, and the E is actually an M turned to be an E, which stands for Melzi Francisca. So in the eye of the Mona Lisa is a CE and an LV, which is the two greatest loves of his life, which is love, LOVE, and Katharina and Melzi Francisca is the two greatest loves of his life, his mother, his lover. And he also had another lover, which was Sali. If you use the Lisa full letters of L-I-S-A and then the other A in Mona, it spells out Sali. And Sali lived with him till 1518. I have 7 years invested in this, and $500,000. So you can see this so happens to be the X-ray, okay, that's in the Mona that they pulled out. It actually comes out to be, this X-ray comes out to be this one. I'm going to pull this down. And it is actually, when I take that and change it, the invert comes out to be that. But I changed it to invert to give me a little more highlight for you, because I need all the help I can get to show the image. So when you put this image up in here, you can see how it lays. Not only does it lay there, it also lays, whoops, it also lays right in this area where these particular, as you can see, the L's, well, the L is made to where, okay, here's the main thing for you to understand. Okay, if you see the angle of the cut, and then you see this angle to be cut a little bit more, the purpose and reason is because Leonardo da Vinci does not make his work go straight across like a ruler or on a conveyor belt. When a woman walks, she boom, cha-boom, 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 right? Okay. As long as you're in agreement, there's a shifting and a movement. It's not a slide. It's not like on ice skates, okay, and you're being still. Okay. So when you end up with a image that varies, that means at a certain area through the fog, you can see some, it's perfectly set when you read it. And then and then when you shift it to go on and off the page like a flip book, he bows his head and they're moving back and forth. They're rapping. They've got their own rap. He raps, okay? Now, my dad was a television repairman. And being a TV repairman, he's taught me that, you know, you can have a painting that is plugged into the wall without electricity, like a flip book. You can get, what did the Indians do? Okay, what did the Indians do? Okay, they went into a cave and they carved their whole story in there. You know, I ran across, you know, into the woods after a rabbit with my son, and we ended up with seeing whatever, and we took it back and had a campfire and had a dinner. Okay, so they carved this stuff in there like you would by painting into a piece of wood or a canvas or so. So when you end up with those particular things, basically the carving that's in the cave is a flip book, even though it's carved on a cave. It's a flip book. It's just not on paper. It's not in a book. It's a story. So as close as I can tell you. Okay, if you actually look at this painting and the image I'm going to be pulling up, you can see his innuendos of where it goes, and you know that the woman's going to go in the middle. I know you can see that somewhat. Okay, let me fix this. So I never preset this one, so it might take me a little bit, but you can see how his works of his woman will be in there. Because if you take the Mona Lisa, okay, if you take the Mona Lisa and you put her exactly in here with the exact cutout, she fits perfectly. I don't know if I have her. Oh, I do. So if I take her and I reduce her and I put her up in there, you can see that here we go. She fits many times in here. His paintings are a copy. You can see her chest. See her chest cut? And I put it up here. Fits perfectly in perfect. And his hand is nearly touching hers. Okay. And that was just a quick setup. I mean, it's taken me like 7 hours to do a YouTube yesterday. So what I'm throwing together here is a miracle with God's grace. And I'm a very religious man. Now, I showed you this, and I was showing it to you while I was rapping. I just want to let you know, this is Leonardo Da Vinci's signature. And in this signature, okay, it actually spells out backwards Leonardo, and it actually spells out Leonardo da Vinci Sir Pierre.